Yo, what's up? It's Lun-Gi. So this evening, actually this late afternoon, I went to a tournament and I ended up winning. I won with Chaos Malice. So I've been playing around with this deck for a little bit, and I wanted to test it out today. So it ended up working out. Went completely undefeated, winning the tournament, and I only played against Snake Eyes for some reason. So four Snake Eyes variants, and yeah, I almost didn't make it this evening. So this deck profile almost didn't happen because on my way home this evening, I had an accident on the road, a bicycle accident. So I was cycling home, and the streets are like very dark. Like if you've never been to Japan before, the streets are extremely dark. So a car came, and then car saw me, and then the car like went off road. So I tried to just like move to the left hand side just to get out of the way of the car. But on my left side there was like a ditch and then like a flower bed. So I lost control of my bike, and then I fell into the ditch and like onto the flower bed, and then hitting my head and hitting my crotch against the bicycle seat. So I woke up like I didn't even know how much time afterwards, and I was a bit disoriented. So I just like dusted myself off, and then picked up my bicycle, and then I cycled home. So on my way home, I wanted to go to the bicycle shop to get like a bicycle pump for my bike, and then I noticed my bag wasn't in my bicycle basket. So this is like 2 miles from the crash site. So completely just like disoriented, I had to cycle back to the site. Just like crossing my fingers and hoping my bag was still there, because my bag had my deck, which cost like over $1,000, and I had my wallet, which has like $200 in it with all my credit cards and stuff like that. So I had very important things in my bag. So I was just hoping that like I actually dropped it at the crash site and not like somewhere else. So I had to cycle 2 months back, just with my concussion, and then yeah. So I searched around there, and then the bag ended up being in the flower bed. So yeah. So fortunately, nobody picked up the bag, because otherwise it would have been like a major neg, losing all my cards, my credit cards, and my money, and my deck, my really expensive deck. But anyways, things work out. So yeah, here's the deck profile. So monster lineup is just the usual monster lineup. So three copies of Dormouse, 3 copies of White Rabbit, 1 copy of Cheshire Cat. Yeah, so these are pretty much the standard ratios for the monsters. Nothing special. Along with 1 copy of Dotscaper, and then the Bystials, Magnumite, Druus Worm, and then Baldrake. Really good engine to have in this deck. And then since we're playing the Chaos cards, we're also playing Lubellion. I made a guide on this deck, which I'm currently editing, so I will probably release that like tomorrow. So I'll release that tomorrow. So 1 Collapse Serpent and 1 Wyver Burster, the Chaos monsters, and then 1 Chaos Dragon Levianeer. So all the combos for the deck, I'll show you in the guide, that I made. And then for the hand traps, of course, 3 copies of Maxi, 3 copies of Maxi, 3 copies of Effect Veiler. So I replaced the Mulcharmies for Effect Veilers, because Effect Veiler is a light monster. 3 copies of Ash Blossom, and yeah, so that's it for the monster lineup. And then for the spell cards in the OCG, we have 3 of these, so 3 copies of Chaos Space. Chaos Space is very good because you can cycle back your dark and light link monsters that you've banished, which is actually excellent. Recycling stuff like SP Little Knight and Fireball Dragon, which is very good. Of course, 3 copies of Malice Underground, so 3 copies of Malice Underground, and 1 copy of branded Regain. So you get this off of your Lubellion, and you could also use this card to recycle your link monsters, dark and light link monsters that you banished. 1 copy of Talents, 1 copy of Talents, 1 Crossout Designator, and 2 copies of Go by the Grave. And then the last spell card is Gold Sarcophagus. And then for the trap cards, just one impermanence. I replaced them for the for effect Veilers, playing Veilers instead, and just one for the cross out. And then you got your 3 Malice. You got your 3 Malice trap cards. And yeah, the deck is 40 cards. And for the extra deck, 1 Lun-Gi-Oh, 1 Crystal Heart or Cryptor, 1 Little Knight, 1 Red Ransom, 1 Firewall Dragon, 1 Link Decoder, White Binder, Appaloosa, RIP in the TCG, rest in peace. Splash Mage, Cherubini. So yeah, we've got some combos with Cherubini that I'll be showcasing. Cherubini, yeah, made him twice today. Very good for the deck. Access Code Talker, made him today. Masquerena, it's your usual card for your end board. And then you've got Striker Dragon and Celestial Spheres. So Striker Dragon you make with Rival Burst and Collapse Open, and then you go for Seal. So you go for Seal because if your opponent does nib you, they'll chop you the Seal, and then you can search for a Magnumite in the end phase, and then you should still be able to make like a Masquerena after you get nibbed. Then the last card is Transcode Talker. Did not make Transcode Talker at all today. So I might actually cut him from the deck. And that is it for the main and extra deck. And now for the side deck, 3 copies of Nibiru. Alright, so 3 copies of Nibiru. I did not see him today. Did not see him. And then 2 copies of Shifter. For whatever reason, I kept on opening Shifter. Game 2. I did not go into game 3 this evening, only game 2s, because I 2-0'd my opponents. So Shifter was MVP. Lancia, 3 copies of Lancia. No mirror matches, so didn't need to side it in. Alright, Twin Twisters, Heavy Storm, and Harpy's Feather Duster. That's for the floodgates that they side in. And then 3 copies of Deep Barrier. Did not see Ryziel or Voiceless Voice, so did not need to side it in. And then the last card is Red Reboots. Did not side it in this evening, but people are playing a lot of floodgates, so yeah, it's useful to have in the extra deck. So for the matchups, only facing Snake Eyes. The most notable was the final match against Snake Eyes. So in the final match, game 1 I go first. So game 1 I go first, but he has Maxi. I literally have like the nuts hand, so I just decide to just continue with my combos. So I continue with my combos. He's just drawing like a bunch of cards. He's not maining Nibiru, so did not activate Nibiru, but I did summon Appaloosa pretty early in the combo, and then I was just like doing combos, just like, so he just kept on drawing and drawing and drawing. And then at the end of my combos, I had basically I had like 5 cards in my hand. I had 4 cards set. I had Firewall, Masquerena, and Appaloosa. And then I also had Branded Regain face up on the field. And then I had a loaded graveyard. And then I had Malice Underground face up. So he was playing Snake Eyes, Azamina, Fiendsmith. So in the draw phase, I activated Maxi. And then he chained Call by the Grave. And then I chained Firewall. I chained Firewall's effect and targeting Maxi, but he had a second Call by the Grave, so he used both Call by the Graves on Maxi. Yeah, the Call by the Graves could have maybe helped him, but like he went through his entire like the engine. He went through his engine. He tried to go for Fabled Larry, but then I had Call by the Grave to banish it, And then, oh yeah, I actually forgot. I also had a Lun-Gi-Oh on the field. So I also had Lun-Gi-Oh. So Lun-Gi-Oh, Firewall, Masquerena, and Appaloosa. So Lun-Gi-Oh just negated his infinite impermanence on Appaloosa. So yeah, he tried to make a comeback, but then when he tried to go for like Flamberg, so he summoned Flamberg from the deck, and he had like 2 Snake Eyes like in the graveyard. So he already used Oak at that point. So then I summoned my White Binder. I summoned White Binder, and then I banished 2 of his Snake Eyes monsters, and I banished rabbits. I banished white rabbits, setting the searcher, trap card. This one, MTP07, setting that. But at that point, yeah, he'd already used his Azamina cards. He'd used his Fiendsmith cards, and then like his Snake Eyes engine was dead. And the last thing he could have done was like make like, I don't know, Masquerena or like Typhon or something. But he was literally behind in advantage. Like I had 8 cards in my hand at that point. I still had like a full field of monsters. The 2 Bystials, Magnumut and Druisworm. Druisworm was used. I used it to banish his Moon of Close Sky. So yeah, that is it. GG. So we side. I just side in to. I sided out the Chaos engine because I was gonna side in Shifter. So sided out the Chaos engine. Sided out the Chaos engine, and I sided in 2 Shifter and 3 Nibiru. 2 Shifter and 3 Nibiru. I only saw the Shifter, 1 Shifter, and yeah, I drew like 1 Shifter. So in his draw phase, I activated Shifter. He didn't have Call by the Grave, so he decided to end with like nothing on the field. And I actually opened GWC06. Yeah, opened GWC06. I opened Dormouse, and then I also had Crossout Designator in my hand, which I ended up not using. So I do the. So what I did was I normal summoned. Right, I normal summoned the Dormouse. Normal summoned Dormouse. So I don't know. I kind of figured he had like impermanence in his hand. So normal summon Dormouse. I linked it away into Lun-Gi-Oh, and then since Shifter was active, Dormouse got banished and then summoned itself back. So I had Lun-Gi-Oh and Dormouse. So I activated Dormouse. He was thinking for a little bit, but then like if he activated impermanence, wouldn't have mattered. So he lets it through. So I resolved the Dormouse, banish White Rabbits. Effect, summon it back. He activated impermanence on Rabbit. I just allowed it. And then I turned my 3 monsters into Crypta. Alright, so since I used Dormouse and it resolved, Crypta was on 3-1. So I go Battle Phase. And then I also had my set GWC06, which I hard drew. So I attack with Crypta, that's 3-1. And then I use its own effect. So I shuffle back like the Dormouse, and then I banished it, and then I triggered its effect to summon it back from banishment. So then it was at 6-2. So then I attack. He didn't have anything else, so that was GG. Yeah, so that was GG. So yeah, so 2-0'd him in the finals, and then 2-0'd the other like Snake Eyes players as well. Yeah, it was just it was kind of easy, like beating Snake Eyes, to be honest. Nothing really like too notable. Just like playing into Maxi, even though he had like his entire deck in his hand. The deck does have a ceiling, and this deck can basically like generate a crazy amount of like disruptions and advantage. So you even have like counters like to common cards like Infinite Impermanence, using like Lun-Gi-Oh, and then you draw a bunch of cards, so you can actually draw some non-engine to also deal with what they have. You know, they can have 20 cards in their hand, but like when they reach their deck ceiling, then it's like there's nothing else they can do like beyond that. So yeah, so that was GG, and then I won like these 5 packs, which I'll open and see what's actually inside. But anyway, tonight was an ordeal, but won the tournament. Feels good. I will also be playing in tomorrow's tournament. I was gonna play Rizio in tomorrow's tournament, so maybe I will if I figure out like a good version to take there. But otherwise, I might just play Malice, maybe this version, the Chaos version, or I might play like a more like Cyber's version. I haven't quite decided yet. But anyways, the the Chaos Malice profile and guide will be out tomorrow evening at the latest, just doing the editing. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.